Hey, this is Mazarine. Welcome to the Asking for More podcast. Why am I an expert in this? Because since 2009, I have helped people ask for more in the nonprofit sector, in the for-profit sector, in government, and in their businesses and lives. So in this time, I've helped people ask for millions more dollars in funding. I've asked for people, help people ask for higher salaries, for raises. I've helped them ask for more money than they've ever asked for before in their salary negotiations at a new job, as well as helping people who are consultants ask for a higher rate, basically. So it's been such a fun journey. And if you want to see testimonials and things that I've done for folks, feel free to go to mazarinetrace.com/testimonials, and there'll be a link in the show notes for that as well. But essentially, that's why you should listen to me, because I've successfully raised my rates significantly, as well as helped other people do the same. And if we're going to be surviving this time with all this inflation and all this uncertainty, you definitely want to be asking for more. So today, what we're going to be talking about is asking for more as a fundraiser. Why am I an expert in that? Because for the last 12 years, I've helped people in fundraising, and not just help them with asking for more from donors, but asking for more from their bosses. So if you're a fundraiser looking to get a salary increase, there's some good news and some bad news. I've done 4 career conferences about fundraising, as well as written a book about it, as well as, now doing a whole podcast about just asking. And what I've seen is that over the years, when people do not value your work in an organization, they're going to continue to devalue it, even if you do ask for more. So your best bet is to try to get more in a new job, more than getting what you really deserve in this job. Because if they've been underpaying you for years, they're probably going to keep underpaying you, let's be honest. So, but if you want to try before you jump ship, I don't blame you. I'm putting together a career conference in March 2022. So if you'd like to come to that, please do. It's March 25th and 26th. You go to career-conference.com. You can see more about that. And it would be so fun to have you there. We're not going to be talking about asking for more. We're going to be talking about structures of power and how people can be more compassionate managers and keep their good folks as well. So there's a lot there to unpack, and I don't want to make this all about my conference. We can save that for another podcast episode. But I've got some incredible speakers that I'm really, really excited for you to learn from. It's not just about me, it's about them. So let's start with asking for more at your fundraising job. I have done salary negotiation for years, and I've also done it as a presentation and help folks get way more money. And it's really exciting to me to help you with one conversation make $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 more than you've ever made before, because we actually lose as women so much money over the course of our lives because we don't do this. And there have been all sorts of viral posts that have gone on recently about how recruiters are just not giving people as much as is budgeted for the role, and if people don't ask for the amount that they budgeted, they'll give them way less, and they'll get away with that. And so in some states, it's illegal to ask how much you made before coming on to a certain role. In other states, they ask you, but you can certainly just put NA or 000 if they ask you for a number, so that you don't actually have to tell them. And then you can actually make way more that way. Because when they ask you how much you've made before, that's simply a way for them to try to lowball you in this role. They'll think, oh, she'll be satisfied with 60,000. She was only making 55 before. So for you to actually get up to the 85 they budgeted for this role, or the 120,000 they budgeted for this role, you have to ask. You have to do it. And so this is a little bit about salary negotiation, but it's also a little bit about helping you step into that mindset of being worth this amount of money and being valued this much. So I want you to think of a number, which is your ideal salary. I want you to think of that. I want you to hold it in your mind, where all your bills will be paid. Not only that, you're going to be paying down debt, you'll be able to save for retirement, and you have 6 months of savings. So for all that to be true, how much money will you need to make in the next 6 months? Put that number out there. Think about it. Is it, you know, 85,000 a year? Is it 70 a year? What does enough look like for you? Enough, not in the low end, but enough in the ideal end of the spectrum. Just take a second, think about that. If you already know, great. If you don't, now's a good time to think about it. I know money can be triggering for folks, and oftentimes relationship to money is about our relationship to fear. So if you're afraid to even look at your bank account and think, oh no, I can't pay my bills. Oh, I just don't want to see all this money going out. I totally get that. So just really try to attempt to start to think about, great, well, I've never made 85,000. Let's just say that that's what I want. Let's just say that. So you're going for a job that pays 85,000 or 90, right? How would you go about actually asking for that in a annual review or in a salary negotiation? So I want you to get your pen and pencil out, and I'm going to share with you that in just a sec. Okay, so here's a really important thing for you to remember when you're negotiating your fundraising salary. They need you way more than you need them. The cost of replacing you is 117% of your salary. And this is just from, 2015 numbers from Signet Research. The book Donor-Centered Leadership goes into greater detail about this. These are the actual numbers. It's not just about how much you're asking for. It's about how long the position has been vacant, how long it will take to train you up, how long it and other people's, vacation payout, all this stuff. This is one of the biggest costs to an organization when somebody leaves. So it's in their best interest to keep you and your best interest to negotiate if you want to see this organization succeed. There'll be a productivity gap for you. There will be, probably more than a month of this job being vacant. There'll be all of these things that will make them really want to hold on to you if they're smart. And if they keep having these turnover costs, it's gonna cost them over $600,000 over the course of 3 years. So again, they really, really need to keep you. And if they do, you'll raise them way, way, way more money. So what are the exact scripts that you can use to negotiate a raise where you are right now? Here's what you can say. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me today. I really enjoy being part of our team and appreciate your coaching and helping me be a strong contributor. I'm especially proud of the role I've played in helping exceed the fundraising goals for the Archives project, which is high priority for the college. For example, you could say that, right? I'd like to talk with you today about my increasing role and responsibilities within the team and how that is reflected in my salary. According to my research, the market rate for a major gifts officer with my education and experience and demonstrated skill set in Toronto is the $65,000 to $72,000 a year. I'd like to be considered for a raise that will bring me within that range. So currently, you're a member of the major gifts team and you're making $52,000. So now you do that for you. Think about where you are currently and how much you're making, and then look at what people are paying and ask to be put in within that range. Where do you find this information? You can go to salary.com, you can go to glassdoor.com. A lot of folks are just posting their salary everywhere these days. So definitely look and see. If you can find the person that had previously had the job, go back and ask them, how much were you making? They can tell you. No one is going to stop them from telling you. You can also ask your other folks about how that works. So ask people in your office, how much are you making? Ask the men, ask the women, ask everybody. So once you've got that, and they say, oh, that's really more than we have within our budget, here's how you respond to that. That's not the end of the conversation. That's the beginning of the conversation. So you say, arms technique, agree. I totally get that. Reframe. At the end of the day, what we're really talking about is an investment in your fundraising program. I will raise you more money if you let me make more money. Make the case. When we look at why people leave organizations, the vast majority of them leave because the salary wasn't high enough, and it does cost 117% of my salary to replace me. So when you look at the experience I bring to the table, I'm easily worth the 15K difference. And silence, that's arms. Agree, reframe, make the case, shut up. That's it. So that's how you negotiate a raise at your organization. But what if you're negotiating at a new job? How would that work? What would you do? You can ask them first to name what they're willing to pay. And then you can ask, is that all there is, for example? And so much more. So they should name a number first, and you should have this in your back pocket. How much, for example, a development director is averagely paid in San Francisco. This is not from this year, so definitely check out salary.com for that. But looks like 133,000 is the average. So if they're trying to pay you less than that, be like, no, I think the average is kind of what I deserve. And then they say, what are your salary requirements? You say, what's the range we're talking about here? They say, what are your salary requirements? You say, get me some more information about the growth potential of this job and get back to me. We'll go from there. Or you can say, I'd prefer not to reveal that. They say, what are your requirements? You say, why don't you tell me a little more about the salary possibilities for this job? And they say, if you were to receive a job offer from us, would you accept it? You say, well, I'm very interested in the job and the organization. It depends on the offer. I'd be glad to respond to a specific offer. And they say, what would it take for you to accept this job? We're really trying to get you to name a number. And you say, if your offer is fair, I'm sure we can reach an agreement. Or I'll consider any reasonable offer. Or my research tells me that someone with my skills, education, qualifications doing this job earns between blank and blank. What is your offer? And if you name a number that's too low, you could say, is that for 3 days of work? Or you say, is this a base? Are there other benefits like a gym membership? Or you say, is that all there is? So those are some of the things to think about when you're asking for more in a job offer or in a salary negotiation to get a raise. I hope this was helpful. I really want to help you ask for more. So I have years and years of experience doing this, lots of testimonials from folks showing that I can help you do this. So if you want to have a conversation where you make $20,000 more than you're making right now, definitely contact me. My contact info is there, and go to mazarinetrays.com if you're listening to this online and book a call. Let's see what we can do for you. Right now, we're having the talent war. People are changing jobs all the time. This is the best time for you to ask. This is the best time for you to get what you want. This is the time when workers have way more power than they've had before, and our power is growing. So I really hope to see you at the career conference. And if you're listening to this after it's over, I hope you get the recordings. But in the meantime, feel free to give me a call and let's talk about how we can help you get more in your next fundraising job.